Welcome to Marvel Maniac, an MCU after show, and Merry Christmas. Thank you for showing up here for our little after show on What If today. I really liked what I saw. I hope you liked it too. It was a very lighthearted episode for us on the holidays here today. But little did we know, here our podcast lay. The sleigh bells rang through the night, and What If premiered to my delight. That's where I will stop this poem, because I don't know if I could do it alone. Now, that last line made no sense. See, I'm not much of a lyricist. I actually am. But anyway, okay, let's get to the point here. This was a pretty fun episode. It was very out there. Even reading the title, What If Howard the Duck Got Hitched? You're thinking wedding episode. Like, it's Christmas, like a very big wedding episode. People all across the galaxy show up, and we're going to get a ton of cameos. Well, a lot of cameos, yes, but not quite the wedding we were thinking. It's more of a family road trip type movie. We're getting a lot of road trip vibes from this season of What If, and I don't hate it. And I kind of love that this episode is a continuation of, well, it just happens to be in the same universe, because they do, Darcy and Howard the Duck do totally like hook up at the night Thor throws the party in Vegas. And I like that is a continuation of this, because they actually have a few characters in that world. The main one to me being Ice God Loki. This is not only an episode about two parents preparing to have a kid. This is an episode about that kid being some sort of like messiah prodigy that the whole universe knows about, and for some reason that this exact baby is going to be the thing that is like the biggest factor in the play of the universe, because it's going to be born when these planets are aligned. Okay, I actually like that. I like this episode a lot. I'm going to say like a lot more than I thought I would. Don't get me wrong, I don't dislike Howard the Duck, but I'm not crazy about him. He's not an essential character whatsoever. We know him from this show a lot, actually. And we also get to know him very little in the movies. This makes me even see if they're gauging for Howard the Duck to make more of an appearance in maybe one of the movies as a side character, or maybe just as like a small plot line in Secret Wars. Maybe they want to introduce him in the real MCU a little bit more, since he was the first teased. Not necessarily teased. I considered it more of an Easter egg at the end of the Guardians of the Galaxy, the first post-credit scene. People were going crazy for that, I remember, in the theater I was in. Someone next to me was like, that's Howard. I didn't know about Howard. Howard had a TV show. But it was like a real guy in a duck costume, I think. I didn't look too far into that. But Howard is a fun character. He's voiced by Seth Green. I love that Darcy Lewis is in this. And that they're in love and they're on the run together. Very unique scenario. Not an episode I would have expected What If to make during its last season. I'm going to go back to the prediction that Marvel's just taking this and going to see how this season responds, and they're just going to renew it again because it's such a good show. And this episode is just a wild goose chase that keeps on spiraling into more of a wild goose chase, which is a lot of fun because it has some of our favorite villains coming back just to get this egg. I don't know why. Is it like anything born under these circumstances when the planets are aligned? Or is it just the fact that like Howard the Duck is like a certain type of cosmic being that like we don't know about, but like bigger forces at play do? Am I overanalyzing this? Probably. And I will not lie to you, everything that could possibly negatively happen to this child is on the table of happening between all these evil, glorified idiots. We got Nick Fury even on the case. Nick Fury, even at this point in like the history of the MCU, wherever it is, he has the power to go to other planets across the whole universe and chase them. Like, that's kind of funny, man. That's Nick Fury holding cards that nobody knew about, even till now, about S.H.I.E.L.D. So this kind of starts when they take their egg, because it's not a traditional baby, so they still have to wait for the baby. They take their egg for a little Sakaar vacation. Little did they know the Grandmaster is a sociopath and he is going to want to eat that baby. So Yondu shows up and takes the baby. So they have to follow him, and they figure out that he's going to be at nowhere, and we get the typical argument: nowhere, where, nowhere, nowhere, where, nowhere, where, type of situation with Darcy and Howard. It's silly. Little did they know, Howard and Darcy, that at the collector's home wouldn't be the collector, but Caecilius, the villain in Doctor Strange. He actually tries to sacrifice this egg to Dormammu at one point. And I gotta say, they did a really good job of animating Dormammu. I like the animation in this show. I think it does go like one step beyond what it has to do, and that gives it a lot of spunk and character, and it's consistent throughout the whole series. So I'm a big fan of that. So Caecilius wants the egg. Basically, everyone we meet at this point is going to want that egg. And by the way, if you were wondering where the collector was, if you didn't hear, he is just sitting in the mirror dimension. Caecilius just flipped the switch on him, threw him in the mirror dimension, and oh man, the collector might just be there forever. He might die in there. During all the chases, Fury says he can't trust them with such great power. I'm pretty sure our final sequence takes place on Jotunheim. It's blanking on me how they got there, but like they're taking a hop, skip, and a jump just around the galaxy. And it makes that a little bit even more funny that like Nick Fury's able to keep up. They definitely gave him like a little more power this episode. Loki's dad takes the egg, then we think Thor's showing up, but it's just Zeus from Thor: Love and Thunder. I think they want us to start taking this character a little more seriously now, because most likely in a fifth Thor movie, the conflict will be against him and his son Hercules. Or there will be a team up. I don't know. You never know what's going to happen. Also, in Doomsday and Secret Wars, characters that they've introduced like him could have a big part in that, and maybe even the reason that they were introduced in the first place. So at this point of the episode, Darcy and Howard are just running from like 4 different armies. Favorite thing is the Black Order showing up. Hear me and rejoice. He gets caught up, Ebony Maw. And they say, I think we need to call up the boss on this one. And Thanos shows up a few moments later, and he's like, "Is this about the stones? What's going on? Is the stones?" It's like an egg, I love that. That was one of my favorite parts of the episode. We also got the Dark Elves from Thor: Dark World in on this as well, including the main big baddie of them, whose name doesn't matter and skips my mind. There's this epic moment where Howard has to chase the egg and catch it, and he does. Clutch Howard. Grandmaster shows up again, just trying to get through everyone like that actually shows up to get this egg/baby that's going to be like, what, the next? I mean, I'm not going to say it's like the next Jesus, like how Deadpool says Marvel Jesus. On Christmas Day, no, this is not, we're not going there with that. I guess there's some symbolism there, but no, I'm not going to go there with that. Clearly, like, the best part of this episode is when the egg starts to hatch. It actually goes up in the air, turns super gold, and starts attacking all the armies and saving its parents. And, like, this thing, the power coming out of this thing is immense. Literally wiping out armies. Like, it's insane. During the episode, like, we have more than a few cute moments between Darcy and Howard. A relationship you can kind of maybe make fun of if the story weren't so decent or in this episode around it. Love is love, and love is spread and shared through anyone and everything that has a soul and a conscience. The egg saves the day, and then it hatches to be a cute little baby, one of a kind. It's not full duck, but she's definitely got some duck in the air, like I'll give it that 40% range. She's got some like just duck qualities, maybe 30. Okay, it looks more like a human. Watcher's happily watching this. I think this is the Watcher in his happy place. He likes this universe. He knows it. He's helped save it with the Guardians of the Multiverse. This was literally the world that started getting raided from our perspective first by Infinity Ultron, which I don't know if any story is going to beat that by the end of the season, like an overarching story. There's still maybe even a chance we don't get an overarching story in this season. So let's just see where it goes. I think this episode was fun, original. You wouldn't expect what was coming, what twists and turns, especially with the title Howard the Duck Gets Hitched. I'm like, I'm not going to see Thanos in this episode. Little did we know. And it did sound just like Josh Brolin. I'm really sure that these actors and actresses come back to play these roles, and Disney gives out the paychecks. And maybe that's why the show's getting canceled, because of them wanting to keep it authentic and canon to get as many of the real actors in as they can. And if it's not like meeting a certain quota or whatever, that the payment towards all those actors isn't worth it for them. I hate to get so technical with you on Christmas. I like this show, and I'm trying to think about how we could save it. Maybe that is my destiny this Christmas/New Year. That's probably not going to happen if that's the case, but we can enjoy the rest of this season at the very least. So yeah, Darcy and Howard, they put the baby to bed. It starts crying, wakes him up. Watcher's on the wall in the bedroom, just like watching from the wall. I didn't know he can like be in walls, but he could be anywhere. He's the Watcher. I think the Watcher is going to have to deal with his other Watcher friends this season, okay? That's what I think. And that's after reading the titles, okay? That's not a spoiler. It's a prediction, a vague one. If you wanted one, which I don't know if you really did, but I gave you one. Merry Christmas. I don't know why I sound like this. I'll tell you why. I actually am upset about the show being canceled. I'll say on every freaking episode, and it actually affects me. Because I'm like, what's the next season going to be like? I know they're doing Marvel Zombies. Maybe they want to see how that runs. Oh, man. This is a great episode. Fans need to rejoice and, tell Marvel that this show deserves to just keep running. I'm losing my voice due to all my extra podcasting this week. So yeah, we won't keep this too long. It was a cute little episode. Is there any moment that I didn't talk about that you really loved? MarvelManiacPod at gmail.com. Give us your take on this one. I'd love to hear from you guys. It's been a very special Christmas season for me, being back doing the podcast more than ever. I mean, literally in 20 episodes, we'll have doubled the catalog since when I started the podcast up again back in whenever Deadpool and Wolverine came out. That's a pretty big accomplishment. I'm pretty thankful for the people that keep coming and listening every week, coming back, and it shows a lot of love and support to me, and it means the world just have a few people listening, knowing you're out there. Rate the show if you can positively. It means a lot. Goes a long way. Might get us into the algorithm. If you'd like to donate to the show, there's a tip jar in the About section below. Never expected, always appreciated. Time's going by really fast. I'm enjoying this. I kind of want there to be another few episodes to cover, but it's only 8 this season, down from the original 9 of the first 2. I love What If. We love What If. We're in the streets making... This is the most first world problem to boycott and picket sign over. I'm not mocking any real causes. I'm just stating that I want more of What If. And I'm going to stop saying that over and over again. I'm just kind of excited to be here with you on Christmas. Thanks for listening. You have a very Merry Christmas and a super duper Happy New Year. I will still be back tomorrow through the rest of the season. I'm excited to see where it goes. I'm excited to see what else we got in store for us. And I hope your Christmas is filled with love and joy. And until tomorrow, Avengers, disassemble.